Now I'm on.
Oh,
And now
God.
Sean's on, but I'm still not appearing on. I'm appearing offline on the live preview. It's saying that I'm offline.
It shows you live.
Can everybody see me? Because I can't see me. Can you see me?
Can you hear us? Okay, Windows kind of messed us up a little bit.
There we go. I can see me. I can see me on here.
That's all that matters.
I can't see me on there, but it's whatever.
You look good. I'm blurry. I'm blurrier than snot.
Windows is fun.
Oh, dude.
Everybody go Linux. Fuck Windows. Sorry. Language.
No, so we got down here to set up and everything to find out the computers totally did one of those Windows update. We're going to go ahead and reboot you without you knowing or even approving of it.
My computer did that a couple weeks ago. It pissed me off.
Well, both these computers just did it at the same time.
What did I do? Oh, crap. I did the wrong thing. I clicked a button.
We're betting 1,000 tonight.
I'm just going to go Fort Madison. I'm going to go there.
I need to adjust some windows. So you're catching us on the fly. Oops, that was weird.
I can't see. Come on. Members only content. What the hell?
Make myself a little smaller for you guys so I'm not just... Yeah, all my camera settings, all my drivers for the cameras are messed up.
No, wrong button. There we go.
Oh.
I'm going to put that down there and not mess with it now.
Cool. What place is that one?
I don't know. Somewhere.
Should say in the...
Fort Madison Bridge West.
Okay, that's
so it's still Fort Madison. It's just the other side of the bridge, I guess.
Oh, that is too cool. Oh, that's that building. You can see the bar then. Would be straight across.
Over here?
Right there on that building is where the other cameras are then.
Oh, okay.
Because if you look to
the bridge is that way.
Yeah, yeah. And then the train, the steam
Restaurant,
engine.
bar and marina.
See, cool. the steam engines follow the tracks all the way up. And it's that little dot right there. That's too cool.
Oh, we got Barry Olson in the house. He's been here since the start. He's been here since I was commenting about stuff going wrong and us being up as soon as we can. Thank you, Barry, for joining us tonight. It's just been an S show.
The beginning of it. The beginning.
Yeah. It's because Sean had to sell things earlier and we just didn't get down here fast enough.
Yeah.
To realize that everything was kind of a cluster.
But it is what it is. And we're here.
Yep.
I even have the wrong... Wait. See, I wasn't ready. There we go. There we go. Oh, laugh it up, fuzzball.
Yeah, no, I used to have stuff that way, and then I've
See,
as far as his computers updating without his permission, his computers have to ask him when they update.
See, and that's how I had this. I thought I had these set up, but
it's updated enough times on its own that, or you clicked update, which reset the thing saying that it needs permission to update. So.
Would not surprise me at all. So while we're doing this, I
need to look this way, so I'm looking at you over here.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Because there's no way to change the side of the screen. There we go.
What?
Now I can look at you. And you can look at me.
Does that look better, guys?
I don't think they care. Oh, Paul Stamp's in the house. Finger Lakes Railway.
Good evening.
Oh.
Yeah, there's some good things in the works for the future here.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you chit-chat for a second while I try to get up some...
The cameras are all working. It's just he lost how the cameras are organized in OBS. So he's messing around with that right now. So I'm going to show off some of my stuff that I brought. Anybody who was with us last week should remember my gondola cars that I created. I don't remember if I brought one in F scale. 1 equals 20.3. Big boy scale. And works out to be narrow gauge. I have to print this in 2 pieces because my printer is not that big. This works out to be a 25-foot car. But Mr. Sean, in all his wisdom, he can print one in 1 piece because he bought the big boy printer with all the big boy pieces.
You gotta have your big boy pants.
So instead of having to have my big boy pants, I have my big boy pants. They just don't fit sometimes. So he can print a 25-foot car all in one piece, and it works out really cool. And with some minor trimming, you can actually run this car on 4-foot radius, which is incredibly tight for that scale. But our he has gifted me plenty of things. Barry, he doesn't need to buy me a big one. I'm waiting for him to buy himself something else new and get tired of that one, and then I'll buy that one off of him. But this is a 30-foot car in F scale. Oh, top down. Ooh, look at that, fancy. So just comparatively, you can see how much bigger one is from the other. And because I had some in our Garden Railways Club here in Des Moines, we've got a gentleman who pretty much singularly models in F scale, and he was talking about the cars, and he said they don't look too bad. He just thinks they should have been a little bit longer, and he got out his little ruler and he was like, "Yeah, this is only a 25-foot car." I'm like, "Well, how long should they be?" He's like, "Well, 30." So I got in and I modified some stuff and added some things and did some stuff and made a 30-foot car. I had to completely rebuild the gondola body from scratch because the stake pockets, see if I can do this, the stake pockets don't line up from 25 foot to 30 foot. They're actually off by just a touch, not a whole heck of a lot, but over the course of the entire car, you're almost a centimeter difference on those. And just like with the 25-foot car, I have to print it in two pieces. But 2 pieces it prints. I can't hold them together tonight. But in 2 pieces it prints, and it turned out really nice. And with this one, I actually hid the seam on, there we go. Can't really see it because it's black. But I hid the seam on one of the bolster pieces versus the other one that hides right here at the seam of the car. And because that was my only other comment, was it's got that weird seam in it. Well,
it's got the weird what?
It's got, shut up, ass. It's got that thing that does the stuff. So I found a way to hide that. And I'm really happy with how this car is coming together as far as parts that I've found and modified and parts that I've completely made. And I'm really happy with that. And then I've got a little flat car too that I've done. It's not quite the same scale, but close. But then I'm also really happy with this whole little brake wheel thing that I did. Again,
that looks pretty good.
Found files that I've modified for my own use. If you guys remember a few weeks ago, I had a few weeks ago, I had those bulkhead flat cars that I modified and assembled and put together. Well, this brake wheel assembly is just that part of those bulkheads. It's just been removed from the bulkhead, and now it works really well as a flat car bulkhead. And again, I'm quite proud of myself for being able to do stuff like that. And I'm really trying not to swear because kid-friendly with trains, guys. Kid-friendly with trains.
Are you feeling okay?
No.
Okay.
I actually had to work today. Like actually do physical labor today, and it was a lot.
I bet.
I moved. If you guys have ever removed river rock from a landscape, you know my pain. And then this was river rock mixed with about 20 years of mulch on top of it. So it was just dirt with river rock, and the client didn't want all of it removed, but just some of it. So it was like 6 inches of river rock, but they only wanted like the top 3 inches removed.
Oh, just the dirty stuff?
Yeah, they wanted the weedy stuff gone.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Because then we're going to top dress it with mulch.
leaving stuff underneath.
Yeah, leaving the other garbage rock underneath because they're never going to plant anything else there. They've got a whole bunch of hostas and stuff that come up, and it works really nice for what they have. But they just wanted the weedy stuff gone so we could cover it with mulch and the weeds wouldn't come back up. So that's what we did. But it was a lot. It was a lot.
I have totally lost train of thought with this fiasco that just happened.
Yeah. You tend to lose your train all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the sayings I always say at the end of the show is, stay on track. I always derail somewhere along the line. You know what? I'm sitting here looking at this down shot.
Which down shot? That down shot?
That down shot.
Yeah.
What
are you talking about? The thing that I've got hiding in the bottom of the screen there?
Yeah.
I was actually just getting there. That's why I was trying to clear stuff off. And if you didn't have a 6-foot P track here, I'd just slide the whole thing forward.
Well, you know what? We're gonna put the light
That
on.
knife is really sharp.
Yes, it's a knife.
I know. I'm not used to knives being that sharp, and I play with razor blades all day.
Do not put any. Yeah, don't put your DNA all over the house here.
No, I'm not bleeding. It's more like a paper cut thing, but yeah.
Oh, then what you whining about?
Put 25 ton of decorative rock around his house. He feels my pain. Yeah. And this was just river rock, and it wasn't even putting it in. It was removing it.
And it wasn't even a garden railway?
No, it wasn't even for a garden railway. It was for a shade landscape.
Of course, I'd use one of the biggest pieces of track I'd have.
That's what I mean. You used a 6-foot piece of track instead of like a little 4-foot piece. So,
I got about 2 foot down
bear
here.
with us, guys. We're playing with things. Here, take that.
You know what? I could probably give you. I wonder if the phone's still connected to it.
Oh, probably. It probably is.
You work on that for a second. Let's see if I can get.
I have to move things and hide things and put things over here.
Yeah, we were really prepared
from your Wednesday show because you just got Wednesday stuff all over the place. It's all just stuff, man.
You're starting to sound like the wife.
What?
You're starting to sound like the wife.
Oh, it's not that bad.
That's why you two get along so well. Giving me shit.
Again, I'm just going to tell you, if I didn't give you shit, I wouldn't like you.
Good point.
I give you shit because I like you, not to screw with you. All the things. Double diamond ring. Creating some black diamond stuff over there, are you? Or did somebody win something on last Wednesday?
Oh, dude, that just reminded me. Guys, what do you think? A little giveaway today? I need to run out.
We're sticking on stuff. There we go. Yeah.
Camo.
I believe that, Chuck.
Oh, what's that? I'm afraid to ask.
No, you have a work wife. It's me. I'm the work wife.
Oh. That's pretty good.
Come on, unplug. Unplug.
All right. So what I'm trying to do is reset up. It wiped all my cameras off. I mean, I'm having a fun fiasco with gizmos. Here, let's switch this out.
No, a big giveaway. Oh, because it won't angle, because you've got it angled too far up. You got to angle that camera down. I need a skirt. I don't need a skirt. I'm not Scottish. I'm German.
You got kilts?
German and Irish.
You wouldn't fit into my kilt, though.
Yeah. So, the top-down view doesn't do it any good. All I see is top. You need to, take that camera and just go, bloop.
I wonder if I can... No, that's connected up to yours.
Right. So you need to stand up and take that camera and go, bloop.
That's manual labor.
Oh, boo-hoo. You wanted me to sit here. A little more. There you go.
That's all.
And now you screwed it all up. Up just a touch. Yeah, close enough. I can go like this. So, this is F scale. Like I said, 30-foot car in F scale. Actually, you want to hand me that one?
Which one?
The gray one right there. Oh. The parts. So again, 25-foot car, F scale. 30-foot car, F scale. 25-foot car in 1/29 scale. You guys can line all these up on the back there. You guys can see the difference. And then this is a Bachmann Spectrum consolidation locomotive that I picked up off of our club because it has issues. It's got a couple cracked gears in the drivetrain, and because it's a Bachmann, they produced about 15 different types of gears for it, and over the run times of them. And the club purchased gears for it, and they purchased the wrong gears because somebody didn't open it up to check which gears we needed. But yeah, so needless to say, I have the right gears on order, and there's a really cool guy on a bunch of the G scale pages that cuts gears. Well, I don't have them on order yet, but I have an idea of what gears I need for it. And there's a guy on the G scale pages that cuts custom gears. Well, not custom gears, but he cuts gears for these things, and they're made out of Durlin, so they're even more robust and better, longer wear than the original factory gears in these. So eventually, this will come back to life, and I would if I could, but the Durlin gears, for the price of them, are just going to hold up 1,000 times better than even if I was resin printing them. And so I'm just...
Are those going to be metal gears, or are those nylon?
No, they're Durlin.
Durlin.
So it's the same. It's the same kind of anti-wear material. It's really close to...
It's that white. They use it on boards and stuff.
It's really close to the Teflon material that you find in like dump truck beds to keep them from like anti-corrosion, anti-stick stuff. But it's super hard. Super hard to cut, and super hard to or not to cut, but it's very robust and durable material versus the junk Chinesium white generic plastic that they came with. So I'm really excited for that, and I actually have a second one of these that's labeled up for something different, and I don't know. This one's labeled for the Iowa Corn Belt Railroad. I don't know if that's a fictitious railroad or if that's an actual railroad, but it's from Iowa. It's an Iowa railroad, and so I'm just going to leave it here. And yeah, so I'm just going to leave this one like that, and I may try to find another set of decals like that, so that way I can actually have two that are labeled the same for it, or I'll just make the other one something completely different. I don't know yet. I haven't figured that. I haven't gotten that far. But either way, both of these locomotives are going to be DCC and battery using RailPro, which is just the version of DCC control that I like, because it just works really well for what I have. And at the end of the day, I'll actually be able to consist this with the other one in about 2 button pushes. Super simple, super easy. Not to mention, I can throw this on with my diesels if I really wanted to make something look absolutely horrendous looking. I could put this and then a pair of my diesels and then the other one behind it, and I could have 4 locomotives pulling a consist that are half of its 1/20th and half of its 1/29, but they're all running in sync. And that's really why I like RailPro, because I can do stuff like that. I can do absolutely stupid garbage stuff like that. But I just like battery because I don't have to clean track. I don't have to clean track. I don't have to clean wheels.
I like this one. 3D print them. Go Tech.
That's what I was... Word of the day: Chinesium.
Chinesium.
It can be used for steel. It can be used for plastic. It can be used for lots of
anything.
Chinesium.
That is a
when
cool...
something is sold as sturdy, but you find out the hard way that it's not.
True. That is a beautiful engine, though.
No, I
little dusty. You could have dusted it.
It's been sitting in a box. Well, it was sitting at the club for probably almost a year and a half before they put it up for sale, and then they put it up for sale, and then it sat at the club for another year before I took it home, and then it's been sitting in my shed outside. Well, not outside, but my outside shed for probably another 6 months.
Okay.
Um,
Well earned dust.
yeah, well earned dust. But I did find out that if I add about a pound of weight to the boiler of this, it actually will be a fairly strong puller compared to what it currently does now. Exactly. It's natural weathering, so shut up. Throw on that top down real quick, just so these guys can see the width of these cars that I'm printing versus the width of the actual tender. It actually, so technically it's like almost 30% larger than the 129 that I've been working at, or than my other stuff. But I blew this car up. I blew all the files up by 125%, other than the trucks and the couplers.
Isn't the gray one the original file?
Yeah, the gray one is the original file size.
Get an idea of how much you scaled up.
So the gray one is the original file size, and it's 1/29th scale long, but 1/24th scale wide. I figured out the other day, or no, 24th scale. It's 1/24th scale long, but 1/29th scale wide. Just because that's what the designer decided to do, and so I made the gondola body to fit it. But I just took those dimensions for the 120.3 that I needed, and I figured out the rough dimensions that I needed in length to make a 30-foot car in 120.3, and I blew everything up by 125% because I just modified this file to be the and I didn't bring one with me, but I did make a 30-foot car version of this file that prints in 2 pieces. That's got the little bit more space in between, and then this, and that's what I originally did to make the files. I just modified the smaller files, and then I just blew everything up by 125%, and it width-wise, it's damn near spot on. I hadn't put it against any of my cars, any of my locomotives that are this scale yet, but I did put the original one that I brought last week up against some Jackson Sharp passenger cars that a couple of our club members have, and it was, again, it's spot on for what width it needs to be.
They look good. Actually, look good behind that car.
And then I put it behind Sean's Climax that he has at the mall, and it looked really big,
oversized.
Yeah, but then you also have to remember that Climax is a logging locomotive, so it needs to be narrow so it can windy through all the stuff versus...
That's narrow gauge, right? Yeah.
Right, it's narrow gauge. Technically, this is narrow gauge too. This is still 3-foot gauge.
Just different scaling. Right.
But this would be open plains 3-foot gauge, to where they laid narrow track because it was cheaper versus laying narrow track because they needed to wind down cliffs and crap.
Okay.
But yeah, it uses the same 3D printed couplers. I got a dead pixel, so ignore the little chunk in there. It uses the same 3D printed couplers that are resin. But one difference in this one is I actually, if you guys, and those files are out there, and the guy that makes them actually prints those on an FDM printer. He has the files so that you can print these in 2 halves and pieces and put them together. That's all he ever does is just climax of them all. It's just trains. Ah!
Oh.
Anyway.
I missed it.
I know, you did.
Oh.
I'm reading the comments faster than you are because I'm paying attention.
No, this keeps flipping over to layers.
Oh. But these trucks, the Volsters, the trucks, those are printed on my Neptune. I didn't print those, unlike the other one that I had over here. These ones, the gray ones, are printed on my resin printers. Those are printed on my Mars. These black ones I printed on my Neptune. And
you look at the camera.
You compare them. I mean, other than just the sheen and the shine on the difference of them.
So
there we go.
That's the cool thing. You don't need a resin printer.
You don't
to
need a
do
resin
this.
printer to do this,
Yeah, that's the coolest thing.
at least in this scale.
Yeah, N scale would be
And
quite a bit
scale,
trickier.
it'd be really, really hard to do. But for doing this in this scale or standard G scale, hell, even O scale is probably getting a little small. But you could probably do stuff like this in O scale too, and still be able to get away with it
Well, they
with
do.
just a filament printer.
Yeah, print it more like at a 0.16 or a 1.4,
Yeah,
and
just
it takes a little bit.
or
Well,
get a slightly smaller nozzle. They
you
make
can do
smaller
that.
nozzles.
Oh
too.
yeah, oh yeah.
The smaller the nozzle and the smaller the layer, the more detail you get. But there are ways to make small prints turn out really nice on filament printers without having to have a super high resolution. You don't have to have that brand new 16K Saturn 4.
Bite me.
Well, I can't say shit. Yours is only a 12K.
Yeah. They say after 12K you really don't notice the difference. Like
I'm pretty sure on anything I ever print, I'm not going to notice the difference between the 12K and the 2K.
No,
because my Mars are only 2K.
Well, look at my
Your problem child.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to call that. Is your problem child?
Well, thank goodness I have a pair of them.
Yeah.
One's laid up in pieces on a work table.
Well, whose fault was it for giving me his backup's backup? Okay, he didn't give it to me. I earned it.
There we go.
I earned it, and we horse traded a little bit. I gave him a whole bunch of really cute, small Heartland Locomotive Works cars that he's having Robert paint. He primered them all, and he's going to have Robert paint them up, so they're going to look really, really cute.
I should have brought one in.
The whole car is about the same width as the length of the car is about the same width as this car is wide.
Yeah,
it's stupid cute.
2-axle car.
Yeah, they're adorable.
Smaller than the
they're smaller. Yeah,
LGBs.
They're smaller than your little dump cars.
Yeah.
So where'd they go?
Well,
what'd you do with them?
I was looking for the LGB one. Oh, the little dump car?
No, what'd you do with all the Heartland cars?
They're out in the shop. It's half the size.
Yeah.
Of that one.
Yeah. So this is LGB's standard. So this is like a 22 point. Blah, 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 blah. I'm tired. I can't talk today. This is a standard LGB car. LGB uses rubber scales, rubber rulers in their scaling, but they're usually somewhere between 24th scale and 22nd scale, just depending on what you're using. But those little Heartland cars, they're even smaller. Like I said, they're maybe there. They're maybe 6 inches long. Yeah. They're super adorable little cars. And when Sean gets his layout done, sometime in the next decade, he'll run them and we'll take videos of them.
Hopefully sooner. It's the weather's changing here. It's starting to get warmer, easier to work.
He's got his end scale put back together and running, like you guys saw. Well, saw parts
not totally,
of.
just a little.
When you guys saw parts of. So now that's kind of cool. That's the same size as that tender, lengthwise. Squirrel.
Thought I was bad.
About a month ago, we were just kind of BSing in the shop. It's no good. Yeah, whatever. We were BSing in the shop, and he was talking about where he wanted to put a layout out front, and I grabbed a tape measure, walked outside, took some measurements, came inside and doodled something up, and was like, it's really easy to do, and it'd be really easy to not to have to modify anything, and you've already got the locomotives, you already got the track, or most of the track anyway, and we drew something up, and it's hanging on his back wall, it's hanging above his computer in the shop for inspiration, and so now I'm waiting for that day that he says, "Hey, you got shovels, right?"
Hey, I got a couple shovels.
You got a couple shovels. I got a couple shovels. I got
a tiller to break up the ground.
I got electric shovel. I guess it's not electrical. It's a diesel shovel.
Oh yeah. That's for the back.
I've got 2 different diesel shovels.
That's for the back.
Yeah.
When we get to the back, we got plans for the back.
No, we don't. We don't have any plan. Well, we have mental plan. You have mental plans. We haven't drawn any plans.
Nothing drawn up yet.
No. But hey, the rabbit hutch is gone now, so now you can actually take my
more room. Chicken coop's going in, but that can go off to the side.
That's new. I didn't know we were getting chickens.
That'd be the 3rd batch.
Okay. Whatever.
Dude, eggs. Okay.
Don't trust me. If I didn't hate chickens from having to take care of my neighbor's chickens sometimes, I would have chickens. I've already got the goats. I've already got the space.
They're still alive? I figured you'd run over there and choke them.
You need to put a 17 plus rating on this show now. Just in general, I guess.
Sorry, guys. Having fun. Gotta have some fun. I mean, there's a little bit of kid in all of us, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it because part of my childhood strains and bringing it back. And yeah, this is awesome. This is awesome. And, you know, for me, the coolest thing is I went from N and now into G, and I'm glad that we crossed paths. This is really cool.
Yeah.
And some of these engines.
How did you get into G? Where did you find? How did you find the club?
Well, I found the club, a year and a half ago. But every time I went, it was always closed.
Right.
And I didn't know until.
That's right. Yeah. And then you came in on one random Sunday, and I'm like, for $20 you can join the club and wander around the back room.
Yeah. We chit chatted a while.
And we chit chatted for probably about 45 minutes or so, and I gave him a tour of the club, and I think later that day later that afternoon he filled out the filled out the little thingamabobber, paid Howard $20, and
now
it's been expensive for me ever since.
Yeah. You're welcome.
That's how I'm going to say that. It's been expensive for me ever since.
Look at all the cool things you've picked up, though. You've got
I know.
You're learning about printers, CAD. That's the coolest, is picking up the CAD in such a quick amount of time.
Sorry, wife texted me.
Oh, it's all good. Hi, wife, if you're watching. But no, it's been a fun journey. It was after I got my my Climax and my 3-truck Shay.
Yeah.
Is when I came in, and then I finally ran.
You had that already?
Yeah, I had it when I first came in.
I didn't know you had that already.
Yeah,
I thought you got that after the fact.
Nope. No, but I didn't bring it in until 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago.
You just had 3 weeks ago. A while.
Yeah, it's sitting in a box. But I've got one car I need to take up, and then I need to work on my 3-truck Shay to get that going, and replace the yoke. Yeah. And that's the challenge, because it's right behind the 3 pistons, so I got to remove all that.
That string of 6 of these that I'm making would look really cool behind that truck. That 3-truck
Shay. Yeah, we can definitely do that. And, that reminds me, I got logging cars I should be expecting.
Yeah, you got some logging cars you need to be printing.
You know what? I haven't seen them. I'm glad I just thought of that.
What?
Because I ordered those extra logging cars.
Oh, you did? Ooh.
Oh, wait, no, they did show up.
Did they show up?
Did they show up? They showed up.
Oh, is that those 3?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
I forgot about them because the boxes look like crap, but the cars are fine.
Yeah, stuff happens.
Yeah.
Big cars make big boxes.
Yeah, big boxes are easy to squish.
Okay. Little cars need big boxes.
So I have I noticed the wood on this one is darker versus the wood on the other set.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, because it'll be able to, mix them
probably
up
a different model year, model production run or something.
But I've got an axle off in this one.
Yeah, that happens.
I'll be pulling 11 of these guys behind the 3-truck, and I'll be pulling some trailers for some photo ops. That'll be fun.
Yeah, no, it'll be cool to see some of your once you finally bring all your stuff to the club or get your stuff set up outside. It'll be cool to see all that all run.
That's what I'll be. Yeah, I can't wait for, is the outside. And I like the logging hill for the club. That'll be kind of fun. And then I need to fix that old girl.
not including metal wheels, because this one has plastic on it. And there are files to print wheel sets. $10. That's how much I have into these cars. Is $10. That's in hardware, filament. $10 a car. Tell me you can buy an O-scale car for $10 that isn't used.
So now all you got to do is get a 3D printer and you just rescale everything.
Exactly.
It's not really that hard to do.
Exactly.
Dude,
And
you know what? For the first time, this little tech, I used Chat GPT,
yeah,
and instead of trying to do all the math in a which I can do, it takes a little bit. Chat GPT, I literally asked it, what percentage do I need to change my 3D printer to go from, like in this case, would be from G scale to O scale, or you can put one,
Right.
122, and it did it.
You got to be careful on that though, because I actually almost screwed up. Going from 129th to 120.3, I threw in. I guess I didn't use Chat GPT. I used just basic old Google.
And there's a difference.
It didn't though. The Google thing said 129th scale is, or 120.3 scale is 140% larger than 129th scale, and then it did all the math and blah 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 blah, and it did the math below its answer, and the math in its answer said it was 31%,
totally,
and then up here on the top it said 140%. So no, don't rely on computers to do everything. No. Sometimes you have to double check what the computer says.
But that could be 30% larger than what it was, right? I'd have to think about that one.
It said it was 140%.
Okay, yeah.
It said F scale is 140% of standard G scale.
See,
and then it did the math, and it came out to 130 or 131%.
Try Chat GPT. It's a lot better than using Google itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, always double check it. Always double check.
Get a printer and print my 53 and 40 foot intermodal containers.
Oh, intermodal containers?
Rick's trains. I haven't brought in any of my printed containers, have I?
No, you haven't.
Are you designing those containers yourself and then printing them, or are you finding files to print?
Well, he's getting. He wants to get a printer to print. It looks
right, but print 53 and 40 foot intermodal containers.
Yeah.
Does he have files for them that he wants to print, or does he?
I gotcha.
Has he designed files, or has he attempted to design files to print, and then he just needs a printer to print them? Because if you don't have any files and you don't know where to go, Thingiverse has several files for containers that can be scaled up, scaled down. I actually found a couple different ones for G-scale that turned out phenomenally, that I've printed out and assembled, and they work really well, because I've got a 5-pack of those the USA Trains intermodal well cars, and if you're not familiar with those, right now that 5-pack is still going for about $800. They're expensive,
but
and then a 6-pack of cars that are 2 20-footers, 2 40-footers, and 2 40. I think they're 45-footers technically. I'd have to get them. I'm computer training. If you just ask nicely and pay somebody enough money, he can do things for you.
We'll point you in the right direction. As far as a printer, if you need something printed, I have time.
Yeah.
Pretty much it'll be the fee of the filament. That I don't mind, because right now it's I could be printing something for somebody, and because it's sitting dormant at the moment, or sitting still.
An idle printer is lost money.
Yes.
That's why mine goes from printing side skirts to printing truck beds, or printing. So I can print one of these cars in about a day because the gondola sides take 8 hours. The car body itself takes 10 and a half. So I start the car bodies when I get home from work, and then they're done late in the early in the morning before I get up. So in the morning I get up, take those off, clean the bed, start the car sides, and then those are done by the time I get home from work. And when I start one or the other, I either start a file for couplers, or I start a file for the trucks
So you
on the
could
resin printers.
you could average 3 cars for 2 days, right?
If I pushed it and didn't sleep and had timers set, I could get 2.5 cars in 3
2.5
days.
cars in
Yeah.
3 days.
I could get 2.5 cars in 3 days.
Because I thought it was 1 car a day.
No,
A little over.
no, it's a car and a half a day.
Car and a half a day.
Car and a half a day. I can get one.
3 cars
If
in
I'm
2
not
days.
pushing really hard, I can get 1 car per day. That's trucks, couplers, car body, and assembled.
That's pretty good. You think about it, because you got to order something. How long does it take?
Yeah,
a week. A week and a half to get it.
I can, as long as I have the filament for it, I can print my 6 cars in 6 days and have it before no money almost, in the same amount of time it would take for 6 cars to arrive at my door.
So talking about, you don't have to be a designer, and you can pick up stuff like, Andrew's picked up Tinkercad relatively quickly. I mean, look at the things he's already done in a short period of time, which is pretty cool. But to start out, I mean, this is...
I started out just printing stuff off of Thingiverse.
And this is just, typed in G-scale.
There's a really cool 2-axle little diesel switcher that I've got saved that I really want to print up.
Yeah. You can get, 3D prints some 2-axle cars. You could do, there's a 2-axle.
Yep.
There's a fun little, steam engine. Mm-hmm. Let's just see what that's about. And it shows you all the parts to print.
And sometimes, a lot of the times in those Thingiverse files, if you look at before you start clicking on the download file parts, if you look at them, it'll tell you, this part's recommended to be printed in a resin printer, or this part's recommended to be printed at such and such layer height, and then you start off slow. I did it in reverse. I started off fast and had a lot of failed prints. You start off slower than what you think you need, slower than what you think you can max print at, and that way you don't end up with a failed print. It just takes you longer. Because if you start off fast, it just gets stringy, and it just turns into a nightmare. Because it either doesn't stick, or it doesn't stick to itself, or it gets all stringy, or it
start off slow and easy.
Yeah. And getting stringy. All these little goober strings that are all in here. It just turns into a nightmare. But that's also part of the crappy filament that I used on this one. And again, filament choice. If you're printing, this gray filament that I used was $12 a roll on Amazon.
Is that the questionable stuff though?
It is very questionable. I'm really not happy with it. I was looking for cheap, and
you got it.
I was looking for cheap PET G because I need a lot of it.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to spend a lot of money.
Sometimes you can find it, and the only way to figure it out is by trial and error.
Right. So I went super cheap, kind of crap name brand, or not even name brand, kind of super cheap crap brand, and probably if I slowed way the heck down, this would print okay. But for really about another $1 a roll, I got actual name brand PLA, and I'm printing exactly, Chuck. Except for it's not Chinesium this time; it's Korean. It's Koreanesium because it was made in Korea. No, where was it made? Yeah, it was made in Korea. Not Chinesium; it's Koreanesium. But anyway, nothing against the company. Like I said, my guess is I was just printing way too fast with it, and it's just not designed to print that fast.
No.
It doesn't have a max printing speed on the box or on the roll. A lot of the good ones do. It'll say all of them
Well,
have temperature range on it.
and the new ones now, because your printer is it's a fast printer. It's
Yeah,
not like
my printer is a fast printer.
It's not like the older ones.
If you're using like an Ender 3 or a Neptune 3, you're not going to max out the print speed of these
No.
filament of the new filaments.
Those are good printers to start with too.
Yeah, because they're simple.
Mm-hmm.
They're not hard to learn. If there's something wrong with them mechanically, they're not hard to fix. And if there's something wrong electronically, as far as like boards needing replaced or
they're not that
other
expensive.
stuff, the parts for them are ungodly inexpensive, comparatively speaking, because they've been around for so long. Yeah. So if you've never had a 3D, if you've never had a filament 3D printer and you want to try one, get on Facebook Marketplace, get on Craigslist, look on eBay.
You
older 3D printers are out there everywhere.
You can still get a new old Ender 3, like the original. I think they're like $150 for brand new,
and that's brand new.
So you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Now Elegoo has that new one coming out. I'm patiently waiting for it.
Which
it's the Centurion. Centurion.
Yeah.
Carbine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mine won't be here until.
You said June?
No, May.
May.
It'll be here next month.
Yeah.
That's the only bummer about pre-order is the waiting.
And that's one of the full case printers, like your Creality K1 Max.
Yes.
To where it comes pre-assembled in the box. You just take it apart, take all the padding out, and you level the bed, and you're good to roll.
That guy right there.
That big beautiful bastard over there.
That's a 350 by 350 by 350 square.
Yeah. Whereas your Neptune, my Neptune, a new Ender 3, the bed slinger style, where instead of moving the head all around the print area, the bed actually moves back and forth, and the print head just moves left to right. Those, they come flat packed, and then you have to stand them up and assemble everything, and then level the bed and put the print head on and do all kinds of other stuff. So it's a little bit more technical. But if you've played with Legos or erector sets,
that's old school. Yeah, you know what? That's a good.
If you've ever built with if you've ever built an erector set, it's no different.
Yeah. It'll go together super easy nowadays.
I will 100% give Elegoo props. Their directions are. It tells you exactly what bolt. It gives you the little scale so you can size the bolt.
They even have good video tutorials too.
Yeah, the video tutorials that you can QR code link to off the thing is top notch. It comes if you buy them brand new, they come with all the tools you need to assemble them. Yeah. They come with the tools. Basically, they come with the tools you need to maintenance them.
Mm-hmm.
They come with the little declogging stick.
I think they come with an extra nozzle. And
yep, you get an extra nozzle, an extra little
glue stick. Thing. I don't like the glue stick. It's too messy for me. I like the hairspray. That's old school.
Yeah. He started me off on hairspray with the Creality CR10 that he sold me.
Never had an issue.
Amazing deal. And sorry, he didn't sell it to me. We horse traded.
Yeah.
We horse traded again.
It was an amazing deal.
Yeah, it was an amazing deal. I got rid of a locomotive that I didn't need, and he got rid of a printer he didn't need. And it was where I started. And the only difference between it and an Ender 3 is just the bed size.
Now, if you're doing large scale models, I'd recommend like a CR10 to start.
Yeah,
you can still find a decent, good used one out there. If you have a friend that's knowledgeable in printers, take them with. If not, use your best judgment. I'm leaning more towards if you can afford a new one, get a new printer.
CR10s are really
they're cheap.
inexpensive because they've been out for forever.
Well, the Elegoo that's coming in, $300.
Yeah,
That's it. It's I think it's a 256 size bed, somewhere in there. So it's not a big one.
It's a smallish to average
Yeah,
size bed.
it's size
I guess
of the
it's not
bamboo.
small. It's slightly above average.
Yeah,
for the bed size. The standard bed size is what, 210 by 210?
right in there. Yeah, like the original Ender 3s. It's a smaller bed.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna do
Actually,
something. I'm gonna go grab that plate.
Grab that plate, grab
this
a plate, and grab a plate so we can just do do. The K1 Max is like 420 by 420 or 430. Is it 420 or 435?
I think it's 420 buildable.
So it's this is in millimeters. 420 by 420 millimeters for the K1 or for the Ender 4 Max, not Ender 4.
The Neptune Max.
It's been a long day. The Neptune 4 Max.
There we go.
Build plate is 420 by 420 with like a 480 vertical.
This is good. Let's see if I can get this in here.
The Creality K1 Max that he has.
Oh, I didn't grab.
Is a 310 by 310.
No, this is a 350. No, 300. 300 by 300.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's 300 by 300, which is the same size as the, or really, really, really close to the same size as the
CR10.
CR10 or the Neptune 4 Plus that I have. Those are 310 by 310 by 360 or 380 vertical. And then a standard Ender 3 or most of your regular printers are going to be that 210-ish to 250 range, which is still plenty big for if you're printing in small scale, HO scale, O scale, S. That 210 is still going to be perfect size for all your stuff.
So this is an Ender 3 bed. So that's your basic original Ender 3. And then we're going to step up to, this is the bamboo A1 bed. So you can see the step up in size. Let's see, can I turn that? Yeah, that way you get an idea.
Yeah.
So now you see a nice little step up. And also on I think the Neptune 3 is the same size.
The Neptune 3 is the same size as the A1.
The A1, yeah, which is this one right here.
240 or 250.
Yeah. And then we go to the CR, the Creality, the Max. So now you can see the progression in size. Love that size for large scales. And then we get to the
big boy,
the Neptune 4 Max. So here you get to see a nice progression. I know this one's kind of hidden a little bit. It's right there. So you have the Ender 3, the Bamboo, the Creality, and the Elegoo. So you can see why it's easier to print on the Elegoo. Matter of fact, if you look, you can see the residue from, there we go, the flat cars. And it literally, this is at 125%?
That's 125% of the, yeah.
So yeah. And yeah, it literally, it just fits right in here just perfect. And I was able to print 2 flats and then the gondola sides.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the 4. This is a good way to.
The standard Neptune 4 is 225 by 225 by 265. The Neptune 4 Plus is 320 by 320 by 385, which is going to be the same size as your K1 Max.
Yep.
And then the Max, which is big boy over here, is 420 by 420 by 480.
So what did we say it was earlier on the Max?
I think we said 420.
420, yeah. But yeah, this is an awesome example.
Yeah, big by big by big by medium by big by medium by big by medium by small.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kicking myself for not getting a Max when I got my first small one, or when I got my my
For your first Neptune?
my first Neptune. But also, I didn't know where I was going to put it, and right now it's sitting on a shelf that is really too small for it already, and I definitely wouldn't have had the space for the Max because my Plus is very large,
Yeah.
and so I'm glad I got the one that I went with. Like I said, I wish I would have gone the Max, but it is what it is.
You know what? I could. I never thought about it. Could do a single. Definitely could
That'd
do
be
a
a
single.
lot, though.
That'd be a lot of filament.
It'd be a lot of filament. It'd be light. It wouldn't ship very well because it wouldn't be flat. But
No. But I mean,
you can 3D print the pieces and still be assembled.
yeah. Well, you could also
You just put little nubs on it, so it just clicks together. You don't have to use any glue.
True. Well, you could print on the big printer. You could do a single, print it upside down, and you could use a thinner layer. I mean, I wouldn't do it to ship, but say if you have one, you can literally you could print out your own single modules and oh, dude, you could do terrain.
Yeah,
you could do built-in terrain on that.
You wouldn't be able to print it upside. Well, I guess
No,
you could still print it upside down. You just have to add supports.
Yeah, I would do it like you said, separate pieces.
Yeah.
So like the top,
you do your top
with the terrain on it.
Okay.
And then
you just do your sides as just a regular
exactly
box that it just sits on.
That's a cool idea. Uh-oh.
Dude, I got ideas.
I got so many irons in the fire.
You know what, Chuck? You do it. You do it first.
Well, you know what? There are 3D printed the mini dioramas, the circus, mini circus dioramas. There you can find them. Let's see if I can find one on here. I know they have them. I keep hearing my dogs outside. Excuse me for a sec. Mini diorama.
You back on Thingiverse?
I'm back on Thingiverse.
Go figure.
Because I think, yeah, right here. Here we go. You can literally download the. Here's a curve mini diorama.
Was it all printed in one piece?
Yes. I'm trying to see who we have. Oh, I'm curious.
It's just one giant solid brick.
How do you say his name?
I don't know.
Shariary.
It's too small over here. I can't read it.
Interesting. But apparently he designed this one. And there's multiples. There's your
standard straight.
So yeah, you can 3D print your mini dioramas. And you could do that one on any printer. You could do that on the Ender or
I'd say that'll go on anything.
Yeah. And then you can turn around and have some fun and add a little terrain.
Yeah, you get the one piece and you throw it into Tinkercad and you attach the other piece to it, and then it just all prints as one. And then you got to worry about it. Then you just got to paint it.
I'm kind of liking that idea. That's kind of cool. Yeah, here's another single drop.
Yeah, I like those because they got the hole for the
power
lead going down the middle of them.
Yeah, somebody was saying something about adding that too. I think I have them in my curves. I'll have to look.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think 3D printers is
there's all kinds of stuff you can do with them.
I mean, look at the one diorama that I did with the viaduct in Chicago.
Yeah.
I Googled image, or I did a Google Earth. I took a snapshot of a down view of the street, and I was able to outline the whole thing. So it's literally to scale of that corner. And then I went to a street view and I did street view of the viaduct, so I have a rough. It's close. It's not perfect, but it's close. It's a good representation of it. And then I designed that and 3D printed it. So it's a mix of laser cut 3D print and just regular printing.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Oh, sidetrack squirrel.
Yep. All the squirrels. Save the squirrel.
Well, we have actually been on
We've been going
a
for
good
an hour.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions out there? I mean, we've just been gabbing. Yeah. You know what? One thing I noticed about
There's some trains, there's some tech.
Yeah.
It's mostly BS.
Yeah.
Nothing new. They know what they're getting into. There's still 7. There's still 7 people watching this still.
7. I got 12.
Oh, well, I'm on YouTube. I'm watching.
Oh.
I'm watching myself watch myself watching myself.
That works.
Oh,
It's you know what? For starting off, it's like so far just about 90% of the shows start off with some kind of a hiccup.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This one was an honest, oh shit, what the heck happened?
I still blame you for having to sell shit to somebody before having to come down.
I wasn't
here.
expecting their timing was off.
I know.
I mean, we did it,
but
we're
at the
a
same
little
time,
late.
you also didn't have to stand down there and bullshit with them while you strapped the damn thing down.
No, well, you still wanted to talk, but that's when I bailed. It's like I gotta go. But I wasn't expecting. We would have been on time if
Yeah.
I mean,
if it wasn't full computer meltdown mode.
Yeah.
Well, reboot mode, meltdown mode, whatever.
Yeah, meltdown mode. That
Yeah.
sounds good. Windows.
Windows is fun.
Not when it does it automatically. I got to go back in and change that.
Yeah.
Because that one I had work up to. That's the other thing. It doesn't save anything if you're working on a project. Yeah, a strap on. All right, Chuck.
You're gonna get your blue name taken away, sir.
On that note, guys, you know what? I'm gonna. I'm embarrassed. Oh, Chuck. Yes, as a matter of fact, we did talk about a couple good engines this evening. I'll just leave it at that.
It's been a long day.
Oh,
Too damn long of a day.
yes, we're getting slap happy.
Oh.
On that note, you know what? I am going to let you close this one out.
You're gonna let me close this
I'm
one
going to
out?
let you close this one out, sir. On that note, it's all you.
If you haven't tried making something, get on Tinkercad. Try making something. Even if it's just a box with a hole in it, you'll have fun.
Very true.
Trains are awesome. 3D printing is fun. It doesn't matter if you have any money or all the money. Figure out a way to do it. Have a good night, guys.